Breaking news, everybody. Apparently, there are no more Lego games. Or at least, that's what I've been told today. Because today I received this email right here. And let's go on ahead and read it, shall we? Now, again, for the courtesy of the person that sent this, obviously I'm not going to post the email address itself. So I just cropped out the actual message that was sent. Hey Blitz, I wanted to reach out to you today to let you know that Lego games are dead. I like how they put all caps. That's when you know they're serious. I wanted to hear your opinion on what you think of the fact that Lego games will no longer be made, will be made by, holy moly, I had to fix that, will no longer be made by, that's how you should have written that, because English, but will no longer be made by TT Games after Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Gasp! Audible gasp. So obviously that was one heck of a surprise to me because I was like, what is this person talking about? I wanted to go on ahead and get into the details. I put on my glasses or went to the research mode just like you would for a school paper, and here is what I was able to dig up. And this seems to be the culprit for this particular piece of news. Now, I would say that it seems like a lot of people are misinterpreting what this actually says, so we're going to go on ahead and break it all down. But this is an article from the Video Game Chronicle, which is a pretty legit source. They are definitely a credible source when it comes to video game rumors, news, etc. But they reported the following, saying exclusive Take-Two or 2K has secured the Lego license for a range of sports games. For those that don't know, of course, Take-Two is a ginormous publisher and developer. They also own Rockstar Games, so they make GTA, they make a ton of sports games like the NBA games. They recently released a new WWE game. So obviously a pretty ginormous player in this space has now secured the license to make a range of sports games involving Lego pieces. Now, how did people take this and then immediately say, well, TT Games is dead and they're no longer going to get to make the Lego games that we have come to expect? Well, if we scroll down a little bit through the article, first and foremost, of course, we do go on ahead and learn about the fact that right here it says one person with the knowledge of 2K's plan suggested that the Lego sports games could include a guest characters from some of the toy brands' popular crossover licenses such as Marvel, Harry Potter, and DC, which would be very interesting because if we could play like football, as in like soccer, but then with like Marvel characters and stuff, that could be kind of fun. So I'd definitely be down for that. But here's the more interesting details, and that would be right here. It says the 2K or Take-Two deal represents a new era for Lego games, following a previous exclusivity deal with Warner's TT Games. Now, here's the thing that you have to keep in mind. Yes, does it seem like TT Games will no longer have exclusivity rights for Lego titles? Abso-freaking-lutely. But that does not mean that we are not going to get more Lego games or the Lego games that we have come to expect from TT Games and other developers. All this says is that the exclusivity agreement and the arrangement that they had where TT Games was essentially the only company that got to make Lego titles and got priority to decide if another studio gets to go on ahead and create another Lego title as well. They would be able to say, no, we'd like to create that instead. So they kind of have like first bid for any new project that comes along. Here's the other thing that we see here is that it says sources told VGC, that's the Video Game Chronicle, that Lego does not intend to extend its terms of exclusivity deal with TT Games. That comes on the heels of course, the article, I believe it was Polygon that put that article initially together, that went ahead and interviewed a bunch of employees, both former and current of TT Games, and talked about the toxic work culture that they have with crunch time, which we continue to hear all the time about the video game industry as a whole, which is unfortunate. But it comes off from that story. It seems like maybe bad timing as far as like renegotiation, because then it puts a lot of pressure on Lego to be like, hey, why would you want to renew and go on ahead and reward a studio where supposedly there is crunch culture happening? Again, according to that article, this is some people I know are going to get triggered and say, oh, well, how do you know? Like, whatever. Again, that's up to you to interpret. I'm not here to comment on that particular side of things. Here's the other thing that I did want to go on ahead and bring up here is an interesting reference that I did not even pick up on. And that is a very valid point. And that is that Lego has also recently switched its movie deal from Warner to Universal, removing some synergy between the two companies, though it continues to license many of Warner's properties, including DC and Harry Potter. And of course, coupled with all that, don't forget that at the same time that this deal is possibly being reworked into something new, you also have Warner Brothers merging with Discovery to become a new company called Warner Brothers Discovery. So I think that there's a lot of layers to the story. Personally, in my opinion, the way that we should interpret this is not that Lego games are dead, and not that Lego games that we have come to expect are dead, but more so that they are just simply going to be changing from what we have expected. You could kind of make the case for that being the truth anyhow, just on the basis that we haven't been getting a lot of Lego games. There was a point in time where they were pumping out these Lego games, 2-3 games every year annually, like a sports game, like Assassin's Creed, like Call of Duty. We would get like clockwork, 2 or 3 Lego games annually. Then that continued to decrease less and less. And now it's been years since we've gotten a new Lego game. And so because of that, I think that it was obvious that maybe the success or the pace at which these games could be successful started to diminish, requiring them to rework things and work more on this one giant title that we have with the Skywalker Saga. Of course, the pandemic hit. That created a lot of delays for everybody in the industry, including TT Games. And that's why I believe Lego Star Wars is as delayed as it is. And that's really, again, just a speculation. We don't have any confirmation of that. But the point here being is that I just think that it's silly to assume that just because this arrangement of exclusivity is over, or allegedly over according to the Video Game Chronicle source, I don't think that means that we're not going to get any other Lego titles. And in fact, we have seen confirmation multiple times, or at least the allusion to the fact that TT Games themselves are already working on the next game. So at the very least, we will get another game in some TT game style that we have come to expect. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. That's kind of a response to what I think all of this means. I don't think that this means that we're actually going to get no Lego games. In fact, I think that if this exclusivity arrangement is over, I think there's probably a better chance that we're going to get more Lego games right now, because they'll be able to make deals with Take-Two. They can go out and make deals with other developers to get more titles released. The best comparison I could draw with this would be, think kind of what Marvel has been doing, where for a while there, when Disney was trying to make the games themselves, we would barely get any games, and they would be kind of far and few between in terms of how many games we got, the quality of the games, so on and so forth. Whereas now, because they're able to go out and make deals with Insomniac and make deals with Square Enix and make deals with Nintendo, we get far more Marvel games. We get far more variety of Marvel games. We're going to get Marvel Midnight Suns, and the list goes on and on. If you're a fan of Lego and video games, I really don't think that there's anything that you should be worried about. It looks like the future is definitely bright. I don't know if you're specifically a fan of just TT Games individually as a company and them being the only ones to produce Lego games. This could be, should this arrangement and should this agreement prove to be true, because again, we have to go off of simply what the Video Game Chronicle has said. We don't have any concrete source where somebody has come out and said, hey, Take-Two has a deal now with us and we're going to make games with them as well. And we have another deal with this developer and that publisher and this developer. So should this be true, then yes, we're probably going to get maybe less specific titles from TT Games themselves. But again, I think that the success of Skywalker Saga, I don't see how this game is not going to be fantastic and is going to be a huge feather in the cap of each and every single person that has worked on this title to make such an insanely epic game. I want to stop saying such an insanely epic Lego game, because I think that some people kind of use that to diminish how epic and how insanely cool this game looks. So I just want to say that it looks like it's going to be a fantastic game. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would really, really appreciate it. In addition to that, you can go on ahead and grab some merch Link is down in the description for that. Huge thank you to those of you that support the channel in that way. And of course, also, I do want to go on ahead and mention, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet. Let me know what you think of the idea of other developers going to make Lego games. Would you be happy about it? Or do you like the kind of comfort food that we've come to be used to with TT Games having the ownership and the creative control over these Lego titles? Or would you be okay with, let's say, Take-Two making a Lego Marvel or a Lego Harry Potter soccer game, or maybe they could make a Quidditch sports game? Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of that idea. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everybody.